Welcome to At the Disney Movies with the Hearts.
I'm Kelly.
I'm David.
And this week, it's the wettest jewelry heist you've ever seen because it's the Boatniks from 1970.
It sure is. The wettest. Okay, fair enough.
Jewelry heist.
Yeah, no, I gotcha.
They came by land, by air, and by sea. The silliest set of seamen, sea persons, ever to never get out of the harbor. Whether it's the good guys or the bad guys, everyone is just trying to keep their heads above water. In Walt Disney's The Boatniks.
What a movie. What a film.
What a classic piece of cinema.
Yeah.
We kind of guessed this on the fringe level.
I think we came close enough.
I mean, pirates, wacky jewelry heist, similar.
Rich people, the Coast Guard.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's essentially, East Coast, West Coast. It's the...
Yeah, we did. That's the one miss we had. We had East Coast, but it was fully West Coast.
I really thought it was going to be East Coast, Cape Cod. Oh, stop that. We have to find the treasure.
No, but this was a pure California movie.
Oh my god.
California culture all the way, man.
But they had one setting for the entire movie.
Yeah, the same marina.
Yeah.
Which is a fairly famous area, really.
The Balboa.
Yeah, Balboa, Newport.
Well, sure. So, what did you think of this movie overall?
It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
And it had really uneven pacing.
So, I feel like we shouldn't have been surprised by anything by this movie. It's what you would expect from a typical 1960s to 1980s live-action Disney movie. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but... So, I can't go there with you. Because there's Candle Shoe ridiculous, there's Bullwhip Griffin ridiculous, and there's kind of the Herbie Goes Bananas. This has a lot of Herbie Goes Bananas.
Yeah.
But it's not...
But it's not as wacky. It's almost
what?
Well, it is wacky, but no. It is wacky.
No, it's not as wackadoodle. You're right.
Well, so what's the difference between wacky and wackadoodle?
The wackadoodle is just over the top. This isn't over the top. It's just wacky.
Do you think they were trying to be serious in this movie?
I think somewhat. Really, my biggest problem with this is that this movie was a laugh a minute, moving 500 miles an hour until the last half an hour, and they took their foot completely off the gas pedal, and you were just kind of dead in the water. Oh my god. Nice. And it was killing me.
Nice boat pun.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I should have written down a list of boat puns.
Wait, no. They're going 50 knots an hour and they took their...
Aye, Captain. Yeah, no, this was a very okay, so that's true because the very beginning of the movie, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be just like Herbie Goes Bananas. And then
I wasn't going to go there.
But then it wasn't. But then the very, very end was, in a way. So it was... Well,
what? Because the ending was boring and terrible, like in Herbie Goes Bananas?
No, but I mean, it's got the chase with the plane.
But it was boring. It didn't even have the wackadoodle fun of the plane falling apart.
I mean, they were shooting meat logs out of torpedoes.
Yeah,
so
they did shoot a salami out of the torpedo hole.
This is a very strange movie.
It was very strange, and just the pace of it and everything was just so weird.
And just to preface, this is not a great movie.
Oh no, not at all.
And
although I'll say it's like the best a bad movie can be,
but it's still so charming, just because of just the time and what it is. I don't know.
And I'll shout it out right away. The Stephanie Powers lady was probably the strongest character.
Have you bumped into anybody or spilled any drinks yet?
No.
And strongest actor in the movie. Well, her and the
main villain. The
main villain, Phil Silvers, Sergeant Bilko.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely driving the boat.
Oh, real captain of the ship and first mate. Yeah, no, I will agree with that. And yeah, let me read the synopsis really quick.
Okay.
And so, for everybody, really, just to preface this movie is not on Disney Plus, and
which is perplexing. It really should be. This is hilarious.
It is hilarious, but I have a feeling I know why it's not on Disney Plus.
I just think it's because nobody's thought of it.
That is probably true, and it's just because we had never heard of it.
Who has?
I mean, what does Boatnik even mean? I had to look it up. So,
I didn't even know it was a real word. I just thought they made something up because they couldn't figure out a title.
No, it's a term of the time, but they didn't explain it in the movie.
Like a beatnik.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you can watch this on Amazon. I think it's $3.99 to rent it. And I mean, it's
in 2021. Who knows when you're going to listen to this?
I mean, if this is like 2051, you're probably going to be paying like $39.99. Let's be honest.
You're not going to watch this movie in 2051.
Hey, it could make a comeback. You never know.
Yeah,
boating could become super popular.
Boating.
Which oddly, this movie made me not want to ever go boating. It's like driving, but worse.
Yeah. Like, this is actually kind of more the reality of boating. I
never thought about it like you're driving. There's right of way, but no, I have no interest in going boating unless I'm on the boat that's not moving, where there's just alcohol and snacks being served. That's fine, but
see, I'm fine with that, or a small motorless boat where you're fishing.
Yeah, Boatniks from 1970, genre comedy. Newly assigned to duty in the Coast Guard at Newport Beach, a young ensign finds himself involved in romantic complications as well as with jewel thieves whose antics contribute to the moments of hysteria and hilarity. Amazon is definitely much more brief on the descriptions than Disney Plus is.
As it should be. Disney Plus can get real wordy on their descriptions.
I kind of like it, though. Actually, my favorite part about Disney Plus is the genres they put it in.
Ugh. Yeah, which are loose, to say the least.
I mean, this is a comedy at heart, for sure.
At heart, that's all it is.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, and I don't know why we didn't guess jewel thieves, because I feel all the movies in the 70s were about jewel thieves or bank heists, so we should have guessed that initially. But
who would have known that this was going to be the return of the Skrinks?
Yeah. I was actually thinking that while we were watching it.
Yeah, it totally was. I mean, it was 100% American Skrinks.
Yeah, and for those who haven't listened to Emil and the Detective...
Or watched it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what the villains were called in that. And I was thinking that, these guys are very Emil because they're kind of proper, and they're kind of stupid, and they're not really...
Well, right, there was the main guy who was really smart, the intermediary guy, and then the really dumb guy.
Okay, and I thought the really dumb guy was the mole for a second. I thought it was the same actor, and I was like,
not.
wait, no, it's not.
No,
but
it's not the mole.
Speaking of actors, did you notice that Canoe was in this movie?
No.
Okay, so Tom Lowry, if you've seen That Darn Cat, he plays Canoe. At the beginning, he was the assistant person driving the boat.
No. Would never notice.
It was Canoe. I even looked at you and I was like, and I just didn't want to say anything. It was Canoe from That Darn Cat. It was him. Yeah. It was exciting. Robert Morse played the lead character.
Are we going to skip over the director?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so he's our best friend.
Yeah, Norman Tokar.
Which, when that popped up on the screen, I was thinking, oh, I know this guy, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Same thing. I was like, oh, wait, he's one of our guys, but I can't remember which one of our guys.
He's our main.
He's our basic. He did Calloway's, Candle Shoe, Cat from Outer Space, Apple Dumpling Gang.
Which we haven't seen a couple of those, but he's definitely got a style, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But also, Calloway's compared to this, it's just very...
Candle Shoe compared to this.
Well, Candle Shoe is more wacky like this is.
Yeah, but it's shot very differently. I don't know if that's just because they're in England or what, but...
I don't know. But yeah, so I recognized the name, but I didn't know what it was. But then when I read the credits, I was like, oh yeah, that guy. That guy.
That darn guy.
It's a real old sea captain of Disney movies.
But anyways, so for the actors, Robert Moore is our main guy, Tom Garland. Ensign Tom Garland.
Ensign. So the only thing I recognize him in is a modern thing, because I did watch the first 3 seasons of Mad Men, and I do recognize him from that. But
yeah, I don't recognize any of his movie credits or anything.
But he's a very prolific actor from the 60s and 70s. And...
Yeah. Lots of TV, lots of stuff. And then there's Stephanie Powers. She was the main lady in Heart to Heart, which was a huge TV show in the late 70s and early 80s. Huge.
I just know she was in Herbie Rides Again. So
then she was in Herbie Rides Again, so we'll see her again.
And she was really good.
Yeah, she was great. And really, that show that she was in was a huge show.
Did you watch that?
No, but I would.
But it's our name.
It is.
So are their last names Hart in that show?
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to watch it.
And then Phil Silvers, who is our main bad guy, who I can't remember his name already. Because I forgot to write it down. Harry. He's in Mad World, which I feel like a couple of the other actors in other movies we've been mentioning are in this movie that I've never seen.
I feel we should probably watch that movie because it is a very famous movie and we've never seen it.
Yeah, but he's also most famous for being Sergeant Bilko in a lot of different TV shows and stuff in the early 50s and 60s.
Is that on Chips?
No, he's an army guy in that.
Oh, okay. Oh, Sergeant, like that kind of sergeant.
Yeah, Sergeant Bilko. Yeah,
gotcha.
He plays the good side of the same character. He's just a wackadoodle guy. That's the guy he plays.
Well, and he was in Happy Days.
Well, that's just a bit part. That's nothing.
I'm just saying. I thought that's why you were singing the Happy Days theme
I probably saw it, but yeah.
Earlier.
And then Norman Fell, our pal from Three's Company.
I've never seen Three's Company.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm sorry. I haven't seen all this classic TV. I'm sorry.
Where he plays a great character. We'll just not even talk about that then.
What is his character on that?
He's the landlord.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the premise of the show?
Well, isn't there like 2 dudes and a lady or something? And
No. 2 ladies and a dude. And the dude is supposed to be like gay because they're not. The landlord doesn't believe he should be living with ladies.
Is he actually gay?
No, not at all.
Oh, but it's like a joke that everyone thinks he's gay or something?
Well, no, they're pretending like he's gay for the landlord so that he can live there.
Oh, does he get down with one of the ladies?
No, but he gets down with lots of other ladies.
Oh, okay.
Because John Ritter.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Great show.
And I personally want to give a shout out to the performance of the super nerdy ladies man, Wally Cox. So the guy who was on the boat that never moved and had all the hot ladies.
That was hilarious.
So he was in the cartoon Underdog. He was Underdog, the voice of Underdog.
The one that we saw? Or the real Underdog?
No, the real Underdog.
Oh, okay, cool.
The cartoon.
Cool. Yeah.
But that's where he's from. But that was such a stupid bit in the movie.
Well, if we're going to give out shout-outs to stupid bits in the movie, I'll give a shout-out to Grandpa Munster being stuck in the boat on the rocks.
Oh my god. Okay, spoiler alert. That part was hilarious.
Yeah, and that was Grandpa Munster from the Munsters.
I've never seen the Munsters.
Kelly, what the hell? What is going on right now? How can we be doing like I would say, okay, this is basically a pop culture podcast.
Yeah.
And you don't know about pop culture, and it's hilarious to me, but it's also a little bit funky because you don't have any history before 1990. I'm older than you. That's fine.
Yeah, you're an old man.
Correct, sir.
But I have gone deep back into the past to make sure I understand all these things and watch these things.
Okay, well, you're just going to have to make me watch things. I'm sorry I haven't seen The Munsters.
The Munsters is not good, so it's not really worth watching, but you should at least watch like 2 episodes so you know who these people are.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So you can recognize Al Lewis as Grandpa Munster.
Yeah, but no, the part with the old couple in the boat was...
That was very funny.
I just kept thinking about my mom during that part, so that...
Okay, fair enough.
Because she would be like the old lady, just, let me throw it, I can't do it.
And then the last shout we'll give is to Don Amici, who was the commander.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy. He was one of the rich guys, Mortimer.
Yeah, he was... Actually, his scenes were some of my favorite parts.
Yeah, they were pretty good. He was pretty good. Yeah.
Now, this movie did have a lot of really good scenes.
And it had a lot of laughs.
It was, I mean, I laughed out loud.
Multiple times.
Yeah. I don't really, I mean, I know why I did at certain parts, but it was probably inappropriate, but I did. Did you have any fun facts or trivia?
The tagline for this movie was, "Man the laugh boats" with the LAFF.
No, that's actually pretty funny. Man the laugh boats. Is that all you had?
No, what do you got?
Okay, so this movie in 1972 did a double bill feature with Song of the South.
Yeah, they re-released it with Song of the South in
Which-
1972.
Probably the last time Song of the South was ever shown, ever.
So that's a great question. Okay, so they never released it on home movies, but was that really the last time it was seen in America?
I don't know, because you literally cannot find that movie
anywhere. Well, yeah, we rolled this movie and we can't watch it, so we can't do it.
And if anybody out there knows a way that we can watch it, like, we'll watch it at some point, but literally we can't watch it.
Or if you can send us a copy, email us and we'll, grease the skids and make sure that happens. Yeah, otherwise I don't know how it's going to happen.
I don't know. Did you have any other?
No, that's it. I had that one too. So that's
Okay.
why I was like, we go back and forth. We don't read all of them.
So the only other one I had, because I wanted to know what Boatnik was, because they didn't explain it, and that was irritating. So apparently it was just a pop culture term of the time that meant boat faring person. That's it.
So somebody who's a boat enthusiast.
Yeah. And, I mean, this definitely was a boating movie. Like,
This was all boating. It was all boats. Nothing happened on land. Well, very little happened on land.
you really had to understand boat terms.
I guess. The most basic of boat terms. Port, starboard, aft.
I don't know what that means.
One's left, one's right.
Well,
I don't know which one's which.
What, exactly.
I think... No, wait.
And they were like, pull the sails or put the thing in the...
Darn the sock.
Oh my god. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So let's get through this movie.
Let's do it.
This is going to be a really weird one to talk through.
Yeah, because there's so many scenes. Okay, so first of all, there was a lot of scenes in this movie.
So that's what I meant by pacing. Especially at the first half to 3/4 of this movie was 500 beats a minute. And then the last half an hour went down to 10 beats a minute.
That's a good point, because it feels as though the first, as you said, 75% of the movie was bam, 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 and then all of a sudden there was a 20 to 40-minute scene that was just one scene.
Right.
Which is typical of these old live-action movies, so I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but what a mistake that is. Because it really kills your buzz. Like, it takes you down and out of the movie.
So many periscopes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh.
So we start out, and it's a Coast Guard movie, which...
I
don't know if the Coast Guard's ever been featured in a movie. If anybody knows anything about the Coast Guard or anything that they do, but this is the movie. Not
what I was expecting.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking Cape Cod rich people, and then I got Coast Guard in California. Okay. And so essentially, we have this theme song that just goes, Boatniks!
Boatniks!
And then there's a bunch of instrumental... Boatniks, and so you're thinking it's just going to be.
Well, no, but there's one good line in the song. They're a special kind of people, not a cool but nice. Boatniks.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Nautical but nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's literally the theme of this movie. It's nautical but nice.
Yeah. We get through this crazy song.
Is it a song? Is it?
It's not really a song.
It's more of a poem with notes.
Music. And we come to the lieutenant and the other dude on the ship. I can't really do the names.
It's fine. The names...
And they're like checking out ladies and...
Yeah, and in the middle of all this, there's a bunch of, cut scenes of there's some nerdy guy who loses his boat in a car that looks like Herbie.
Yeah. There was the Herbie scene where it flips upside down and the boat is taking the car out.
And that's right away you know, okay, this is a slapstick crazy comedy. And then there's a fire on one of the boats because somebody's grilling.
No, I think that's all during the same... That's during the intro.
I know.
Oh, okay, but
we need to talk about the man who was swatting the fire and then turns around away from the fire and swats the top of the thing and proceeds to make the top of the thing on fire.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when people panic.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, but... Okay, you gotta mention that you're going backwards if
I
you're gonna go
didn't realize
backwards.
I was going backwards, to be honest.
Yeah, I was trying to go forward.
Okay. So is this before or after the Hot Boat Ladies?
That is before the Hot Boat Ladies. That's
Okay.
still in the Boatniks song.
It is in the song? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was still with the Coast Guard driving around and burp, 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 and then there was...
That's all during the song.
Oh, it's all during the song. Okay.
Yeah, the song ends, and then we get the lieutenant, and they're drinking coffee, and they're checking out the ladies, and he's talking about he's going to transfer out of there to Alaska.
Okay.
And that the new lieutenant should be there any moment now.
And he's like, you don't want to leave this. Look at all these hots.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And then we cut to our new ensign lieutenant getting pulled over.
And Ensign is his name, by the way.
No, his name's Tom. Ensign is a rank in the Coast Guard and Navy.
Okay, shut up. Okay, so, fun fact. I thought his name was Ensign.
No, his name is Tom Garland.
I thought his name was Ensign.
Ensign Garland, yeah, I mean... that's his rank.
This entire movie, I thought that's what his name was.
They call him Tom in parts of it.
Okay.
So, we cut to, Mr. Garland, Lieutenant Garland, Ensign Garland. He's pulled over, in a quarter mile. He violated every law in the book somehow in his absolutely sweet brand new Toyota Corona.
He does have a pretty sweet car.
That thing is sweet. And he's like, come on, write the ticket. I gotta go. I'm late. We cut over to the gas station with our bad guys.
Well, and on the radio, in the meantime, there's the thing, there's three jewelry.
Three jewelries, yeah.
blah,
A very
blah.
good movie trope of over the police radio moving the story along.
Mm-hmm.
The dumb guy goes to the gas station and tries to get in the ice cream machine, and it doesn't work. So he whips out his lock picks and picks open the ice cream machine.
And why wouldn't you... He only grabs one ice cream. Why wouldn't you grab 70 ice creams?
It's called an ethical criminal. It's fine.
Oh my god, no.
It's what I would do if I went bad. I'd be like, hey, this thing ate my dollar, so I'm going to open it up and get my thing out.
Yeah. And so they're trying to get to Mexico with all their their $2 million of jewelry that they've stolen. So in the midst of this, they end up getting in an accident.
They get rear-ended by the ensign.
Yeah. By Tom. Apparently.
And the whole town is like, it was the captain's fault. It was that guy's fault. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody's gathering around him. They're trying to keep the trunk down. The cop shows up and they're like, oh, no, it's not a big deal. No, we'll take care of this ourselves. And the cop's like, oh, good enough for me, which is never what would happen now, but is exactly how a cop should act. And he just clears out the crowd. They drive away. Everything's good.
Yep. And Tom is walking through all the boats, and we get, you basically are meeting the cast of crazy boat people.
Crazy, all the cool people on the pier.
He passes the hot chick boat party.
Yep.
With basically the nerdy guy. Oh, we're having a party for you. Blah, 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 blah.
Was he a nerdy guy? I thought he was like an arty guy. I thought he was Andy Warhol on a boat.
Yeah, he's too fat to be an Andy Warhol type.
No, but see, that's the thing. The arty people can be fat. It doesn't matter.
I think they were going for more of a rich, kind of nerdy guy.
Okay, fair enough.
But with a slight tinge of Warhol.
Yeah.
And so he's like, no, I gotta go. And then he bumps into a boat that has a jar of paint on it, and it spills the entire jar of paint on top of a lady, and immediately you know, this is gonna be the love interest.
Yeah, she's the hot chick.
But, only if you like that girl next door kind of thing.
And she does have strong girl next door vibes.
Does she?
She looks like the girl next door. I mean, come on, who else would be like that? I thought she was like the ultimate girl next door.
I don't know. She's got big eyelashes, so I don't know.
Well, that's just for TV.
Too hot for TV.
But I mean, she doesn't. It's not like if you saw that girl, you'd be like, oh my god.
No, I mean she's just a normal looking chick.
That's what I mean. Girl next door. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And so he gets to the boat, and essentially then he's just appalled by the sheer amount of boat traffic out on the lake.
Right. They introduce him. They see him. And they're like, and he can't even focus. There's so much traffic out there. He falls off the boat.
Oh my god.
The commander sees him and is just upset because apparently his dad was some super war hero, Torpedo Man.
Yeah, Torpedo Tom or something.
Torpedo Tom in WW2 in the conflict. But when he did knock that paint on her, by the way, he did the Urkel line. He says, "Did I do that?"
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah, he did say that, which was really funny. I just thought I just had to throw that in.
Can I do that?
So we cut back once again to the criminals hiding jewels and food.
Which is actually very smart.
Yeah, that's especially bread. You could hide a lot of bread. And they're going to sail to Mexico with their beginner sailbook.
And he's got the most stereotypical sailing outfit, like the blue...
And he's going to be an East Coast sailor.
Yeah. And so... And this is where I noticed the canoe guy, which you didn't notice.
No, I wouldn't recognize Canoe if you showed me him in that darn cat right now. I wouldn't recognize him.
It was him.
I wouldn't even recognize the sister if you showed me a picture of her right now.
It's fine. It's okay. And basically the crooks are going to rent a boat, and the lady who got paint spilled on her is in charge of sailing lessons and boat rentals.
Well, yeah, she owns the Lido boat rental and service. You see the sign one time somewhere in there.
Yeah. And so she gives them a boat oh, here you go, have a boat. No,
people on credit. No big deal. Here you go. Take the boat.
Nice jacket.
Yeah, I've got to take these kids out on their sailing lesson. Just pay me when you get back.
Yeah. Then we get the scene of the old kooky couple stuck out on the rocks.
Right. It's Garland's first test. He goes out, and then the main boat has... Which, why you'd ever let your main guy go out and do the rescue is insane, but whatever.
He's got to get his feet wet.
Yeah, well. So the main boat goes to a sinking ship. He does this rescue on the rocks. This is where we meet Grandpa Munster and this crazy old lady.
Yeah, and they just keep missing the line, and they're
and the lady tries to tie it to the front of the boat. She screws up.
I was a Girl Scout.
And then when the line whips back, it gets caught up in the prop of the Coast Guard boat, and they're stuck on the rocks too after a big boat comes by.
Yep. And then at this point, the Kate, the lady who got paint spilled on her.
Wait, no. You're skipping.
Oh, sorry.
We get the criminal sail shenanigans.
Oh.
Of them trying to sail the boat and putting their hands over their eyes a whole bunch of times and missing everybody.
Because they're just darting through traffic. And then in between all this, we have the guy who keeps running into the pier.
Yeah, with the cigar. He always has the cigar going, and he keeps going into his slip too fast.
And he's like,
And I meant to look up who he is, because I feel like he's got to be famous for doing this, because what else would you do that?
Look out! Look out!
Yeah, and it was just a recurring bit through the entire
And the
movie.
guy looked kind of familiar, too, but who knows? And who cares, honestly? It was a recurring stupid bit. Then we cut back to the hottie coming back to help Mr. Garland, the ensign.
Yeah,
and he's very reluctant about it, and she's hilarious about it. She's like, "Oh, look at him! Are you stuck? Do you need some help? Oh, it's no problem.
I insist."
Yeah, I insist.
Yeah, and so then, so he gets in trouble.
Yeah, he gets in trouble. There's a little tiny scene where the criminals run into the tacos thing.
Well, they think they're in Mexico, and then, just kidding.
They hit a dockside taco restaurant.
And why don't they go to Canada?
Well, because you don't. And then, he gets in trouble, and he's like, "You were rescued by a girl in a sailboat."
Yep, and it's the first of many reprimanding scenes to...
Right. And this is the scene where we get the, if your father handled a boat like you, we'd all be speaking Japanese. Oh boy. Which was totally fine back then because it was still pretty close to WW2 and you're allowed to say things
Isn't
like that.
weird to think about that if you lived back then, that was a recent event? It's like our 9/11 essentially.
Well, it was still during the Vietnam War too. I mean,
it's
this
crazy.
movie was literally during the Vietnam War.
It's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And then we get the scene, which is one of the more out of place scenes in the entire movie.
Where they meet at the restaurant?
It's the only scene that doesn't take place on the shore.
No, there's a couple of other ones with the hotel.
Well, okay, that's fair. I kind of like this part.
This is a great part. It should have been a little bit longer and deeper, but it was still pretty good. Yeah, so Kate and Garland run into each other in this restaurant.
It's very busy.
And they're talking to each other like, okay, we'll never talk to each other again. But as they're talking to each other, the hostess sees them talking. Is like, oh, you're friends? Can we seat you at the same table? Save some space? And then they're just like, So they end up having dinner together and she falls in love with him.
Yeah, and because
he's just this charming guy.
Even with his terrible teeth. No, he has bad teeth. Even from before, he was like, who's that lady? Oh
yeah, no, he wanted to hit it when he was trying to wipe the paint off her face.
So they end up liking one another, and this whole thing is that he's super clumsy because, he had the traffic tickets and he bumped into the car.
And he was born on Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah.
In Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
That's supposed to mean he's unlucky because he was born on Pearl Harbor Day in Pearl Harbor while it was getting bombed, I guess.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, this part was kind of cute because I think I fixed my luck. And then when something with the wine bottle breaks or something
No, they toast each other with the wine glasses and it breaks all over her.
Oh, yeah.
And she starts cracking. She thinks that's the most charming thing ever.
Well, apparently they did because in the next scene they're together all
and
of a sudden.
And they're kissing. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, when did that happen? Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
I was like, oh, clearly Kate and Garland are now but that's a couple scenes ahead.
But real quick, so at the dinner, I don't know what the dessert was that they were eating, but I kind of want it.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I remember actually thinking that.
It was like a layered pudding dessert in like a wine glass. And I was like, oh my God, what is that?
I remember seeing that and thinking the same thing. After and there's like the whole I'm just the New England Fairchild. I'm a rich chick. And, but now you can pay. Yeah, and they break the glass. Okay.
And you have a great knowledge of seamen.
Yeah.
You're a seaman.
She's basically, and then we get this dumb thing with the criminals in the fog, and Garland is out on the boat. They're honking. They keep turning to miss the boat, and the other stupid boat with the criminals keeps turning to hit him. They hit the boat and sink the boat, and then he gets yelled at yet again. Yeah. And this is also where the jewels sink in the picnic basket.
Yeah.
Even though you see that Harry is trying to save the picnic basket with a life jacket, which would be really obvious to anybody on board of the Coast Guard ship.
Yep. Then we get, after his second reprimanding scene by the guy, we get a hilarious scene, a little cut scene, where they're trying to save this lady who got her skirt caught in the the gears or something, and her scarf caught, and she's trying to hold her skirt down with the wind, and then, somebody needs to go over there and cut her skirt. I need a volunteer, and all the dudes jump off the ship, because there's a lot of sexual innuendos in this movie.
This movie is basically a whole sexual innuendo, which is unusual for a Disney movie that's literally rated G.
Yeah, they need torpedoes inside of the things. This movie is a sexual innuendo. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But we also had, right around this time, the hubby locked in the head when they said their boat was on fire. She's like, what else would you say if your husband was locked in the head?
Which is the bathroom, but...
Well, if you don't know what the head is, give me a break. And then we have the stupid fishing trope scene with the criminals where they catch this big fish that is taking their boat backwards so fast that they are breaking the speed limit and the Coast Guard's trying to stop them. And they've caught a record-sized fish.
Yep. Kate is super suspicious.
And this is where we find out that Kate and Garland have been...
Yeah, because they just start kissing and you're like, okay.
Yeah, but not just kissing. casually kissing, like, I don't know. But just super casually.
Super casual kissing, whatever that is.
You know what that is.
Yeah.
Everybody does. It's super casual, like, where people are kissing and it's clear that they've... That's what I mean.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've...
And I bet these two did.
Put up the sails.
Sure. Tied the knot.
They've tied... Yeah, there you go.
No, wait, no, that's getting married.
Put down the anchor?
Yeah, there you go.
And so she's super suspicious of...
She's like, they don't want to have their picture taken with the world's largest fish. And you can see that Harry put the weight over his face and the other guy's turned backwards and the guy has his hand over his face.
Yeah, because they're criminals. They don't want to be seen. And
jewel thieves.
Yeah, and then, of course, Tom is all of a sudden, oh, that's a good point, because, oh yeah, she brought it up, but whatever, you're just going to pretend like it was you.
Oh, and he's been busting them, doing multiple weird things.
And we get another weird thing where we get the old school scuba diving.
Yeah, well, they're watching them at this point. But they send the dumb guy down scuba diving, old Charlie.
And when they send him down, his helmet comes off, but he still puts it on, and I'm thinking...
I think those old ones like that, you were just supposed to breathe the air that was coming into it. I don't really understand.
But the water just would come in, so how would you breathe?
Because the water, or the air is still pushing through into the helmet.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either, really. That whole scene didn't make a whole lot of sense until there was shark!
Yeah, shark humor. Because there's the world's tiniest shark, and... he starts freaking out, and...
Well, first the dudes up above started freaking out.
Yeah, but they're pretending to fish because they don't want to give it away.
And then Charlie starts freaking out. And then the people on the Coast Guard board hear sharks, so they bust out the rifle.
Yeah, and then when they shoot it, the criminals think they've shot the stupid guy.
Harry thinks that they shot Charlie.
And then, oh, what a terrible way to die. Oh, you're alive.
Yeah, you're alive.
Like, no, they're not going to shoot him. Calm down.
And they never show the dead shark, but whatever.
No, they don't. I know you're disappointed.
So then Harry, in the hotel, calls Masomori in Japan and says he needs the world's best pearl diver.
Yeah. And
then we get this many children gag with the guy who wants to sail around the world. So if you've got 10 to 15 children, why would you want to sail? Well, I mean, I know exactly why you would want to sail around the world, but I mean...
to spread your seed?
No, to get out of there.
Yeah, well, that's the joke, because so this guy has been building this round the world or bust boat thing for a while, so he's going to sail around, and his wife is just super happy he's going to leave, so that
so that she doesn't get knocked up again.
So then we get this gag where he's leaving and the guy who keeps crashing into the dock just knocks into him and it's over.
Yeah, the cigar guy runs him over and breaks his boat and
the wife
everything.
Just starts crying.
And the wife starts crying, yeah.
She's like, I'm going to get poked again.
Yeah, and Tom laughs at her.
Yeah, super friendly.
So then we cut now to the pearl diver, the Japanese lady, Chiyoko. Gets off the plane. She's dressed like a geisha, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and there's all this wacky Japanese music playing. Like, oh my god, what are you doing?
And she has a note safety pin to her dress, and she's just playing the part of like, oh yeah. And Charlie wants to get into Chiyoko's guts. He's like,
ask her if she wants to go to dinner with me. Yeah, and so.
And then it's like, picnic basket?
Yeah, they just keep repeating the same words over and over again.
And Garland and Kate are spying on them, and Chiyoko is diving and diving and diving.
Well, and before she dives, you get the scene of her taking off her clothes.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's impressed, because she's hot. She's got a hot bod.
And... Tom is like, yeah, she's taken off her robe.
So, I mean, he's like, oh, she's better looking than you, Kate.
And Kate says, do you want a broken snorkel? And by snorkel, she means his...
Yeah.
And yeah, so eventually, first she comes back with an octopus, and then it's this whole scene of back and forth of no, and it
a picnic Oscar.
Yeah, it's yeah,
and basically she's like, oh yeah, picnic Oscar, and it's just dumb and stupid. But then she comes up with the picnic basket.
Yep.
And then we find out, we go back to the hotel, and guess what? Chiyoko speaks English.
Wait, which you should have seen that coming, of course.
Yeah.
But
she's like, I think you're shorting me. And so she takes off with this super fancy bracelet, and leaves singing the song about how if she was in Japan, she'd be retired, which is really funny.
Yep. But the best part of that was when she was leaving, she takes a bite out of the pickle.
Yeah.
And she's like, nice kosher pickle. Because it's been in salt water this whole time.
Yeah, that's a healthy pickle. And then we get the peeping Tom, because Tom is peeping in the captain's window.
Well, because he ran into the captain in the lobby, and he's like, oh yeah, your business. And the captain, here with my wife. Because essentially Tom was insinuating that he was here with a lady friend.
With a lady?
Which is, and I was kind of hoping that was the case. But
yeah, I really thought, the way that scene played out that we skipped over, which is fine, it did seem like it was not going to be with his wife.
And it was definitely his wife.
Yeah.
Because, apparently if you have a wife, she must be ugly and old.
She must be a shrew.
Oh, she must be horrible.
A shrew.
Because that's how that works. And so they see Tom peeping. His name is Tom.
And he's a peeping Tom.
He gets his, essentially, third reprimand scene, right? At this point? Third or fourth?
No, this has got to be only the third. Because at this point, he's like, hey, if I catch you doing anything again, you're gone.
Yep. And this scene, though, was actually really funny. He's saying, I wasn't trying to peep on your wife. I was trying to peep on the sea captain. I was peeping
on Harry Simmons.
I was peeping into his picnic basket.
Yeah, he's a jewel thief.
And it was just really funny.
So the next morning, Harry calls the Mexican charter air, and all they have is a seaplane.
Oh my god.
And we get just ridiculous thing with all these kids playing on this lonely, busted up Mexican seaplane.
We got business! Get out of here!
Oi, kids! Yeah.
And it was just, and so he's gonna bring a plane for the crooks, and we get then another scene of the party boat with the ladies, and I just really like that in this scene, Kate's just, she's not, those sluts. She's like, yeah, have a good time, ladies. Like, it's just, I don't know. She's just, but yeah, she's just like, okay, have a good time on your cruise.
Yeah, have fun. And maybe it's just because they've been neighbors for so long that she just kind of gets it, and she's also glad that they'll be away for a while.
Yeah, but no, she's just a cool chick. She's just, okay, that's what they do. This is what I do.
Cool chick, brah.
And then so Tom is trying to stop the crooks
with the captain
because he's convinced them, and so they come, and there's a whole back and forth, and their picnic basket gets spilled, and it's all a bunch of food, of course,
not jewels.
It would be all gross because it was underwater for days, but whatever.
Or unless they repacked it.
I don't think they repacked it.
They went back down to the deli.
Yes. And basically the captain's like, oh, the nerve, and he gets all upset, and the pelican comes and takes the pickle, and they go away, but then the pelican drops the pickle, and she's, oh, Tom, look at the pickle, it has jewels in it.
Yeah.
It's a real Dilla diamond. Never mind. I was looking for like a pickle jewel pun, but I couldn't think of one.
Yeah. You could just say it's a real pickle.
They're in a pickle with a Dillamond diamond.
Dilmond pickle. So he sends her to go get the captain. He commandeers a weak fishing boat.
Yep, and we get the start of the obligatory chase scene.
Yeah.
But instead of cars driven by dogs, it's boats.
It's boats. There is excellent chase score.
Yes.
At least at the beginning. Like, it's just like any other 70s, 80s television show.
Yep. And they get, like, trapped in the boats, in the middle of all these boats, and there's a bunch of, oh, right away, blah, 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 blah.
And then they escape onto the party boat.
Yep.
And there's a whole funny scene of like, oh, the food delivery guy came out here. And they're like, no, we're not food delivery people. And then the ensign jumps on board and he's like all popular. Oh, have you seen these three guys? Oh, they escaped in that submarine right there. See them go.
Yeah, because the submarine just showed up and two guys jumped out. Oh, hey, we'll have your alcohol. and so basically, yeah, so they go down in the submarine, and then Tom, like, commandeers a canoe of Sea Scouts.
Stroked!
Yeah, and he just keeps telling them to stroke. And they're chasing after the submarine, and there's really bad underwater submarine special effects, which are
and humor. And they keep cutting back to the yellow submarine, which I thought was just ridiculous that it was a yellow submarine.
Yeah. Beatles reference.
Yeah.
So this was
not long after the yellow submarine, like 3 or 4 years.
This scene though was long.
Oh my god.
It went on forever.
From here, well, really from the beginning of the chase to here and on was forever.
Isn't that kind of typical of all of these movies, though? Do you remember in Candle Shoe, do you remember the train chase scene, how long that went on?
Oh, yeah, it was
This
terrible.
is typical of our friend Tokar.
Norman Tokar.
Yeah. He likes the long chase.
Yeah, and he just doesn't know how to end a movie, I think, is the bigger problem.
Yeah, because, I mean... well, no, Those Callaways wasn't like... Those Callaways was his best work.
It had a solid ending, that's for sure.
And so basically, after all of this back and forth, they end up, like, pretending they're sunk, and so they're stuffing they take all the jewels out of the meats and breads, and they stuff all of the meats and breads into the torpedo tube to shoot it out.
Yeah, to make it look like they've been sunk.
Make them think we're sunk, aren't we? Looks like a small torpedo. It's a salami.
And so the Coast Guard boat first turns around, but then Kate, being the smart one, of course,
stays looking at them.
Yep, and she sees them, and so they're like, oh, they're still there.
Oh, wait, look at them go. They're going towards that seaplane.
Yep, and the seaplane has the Mexican guy with the most stereotypical pilot outfit ever, with the white pants and the brown leather jacket and the white scarf and the
most stereotypical, really ugly wife kind of thing.
Oh. Coffee, tea, or tequila?
I thought that was hilarious.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Because so basically his wife is on the plane and she's off, like she's a flight attendant. Oh, welcome to Mexican Charter Airways.
Trans-Mexican Airways.
Yeah. Coffee, tea, or tequila? And she just kept saying it to the point where to Harry, the main guy, she said it twice and he's like, you already got me, it's fine.
And then he's like, where do you keep that tequila?
Yeah, because they're trying to take off and they can't because it's too...
They're overweight, and he needs to take off into the wind to even have a chance to take off.
So I thought what was going to happen, and I'm just terrible, I guess. I thought that Harry was going to throw the wife overboard.
So did I.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. I thought that's what was going to happen, but she ends up just throwing the basket out, and they're like, okay.
Well, she convinces him to throw the basket out, essentially. I thought that they were going to rope the airplane somehow. I thought it was going to be more of a Herbie airplane destruction kind of thing.
Yeah.
And neither happened. They throw the picnic basket out by mistake, like, oh no! The Coast Guard instantly fishes the picnic basket out full of jewels.
Right.
And they're like, well, we're going to have to radio ahead to get that airplane down in Mexico.
And then you never see the crooks again.
No, yeah, their fate is totally irrelevant. Tommy did it. He broke the jinx. Kate is trying on this ring that is now stuck on her finger, and, well, we're just not going to have to tell anybody that that's now your engagement ring. We're engaged after 3 days of knowing each other.
We make a great engagement ring.
But they've only known each other for 3 days, and he's already like, yeah, I'm committed to that. And as he says, oh, I've broken the jinx, the very end cut is they're right about to run over the submarine with the boat.
Yep.
that he's not driving, so I don't really know why that's his fault, but whatever. So that's the end of the movie.
Yep.
Yep. So what was your favorite part, Kelly?
I had a couple, actually, that I liked. I didn't think I really had one standout favorite. But my first one is the old people stuck on the rock.
Oh, that's fair.
That's my first one, I think. What did you have?
I have Chiyoko speaks English.
So that was another one I had noted. I did really like that part.
It's really funny.
Oh, you're coming up short.
Oh, I stayed up all night watching TV.
Yeah. How'd you learn English? I'm really stupid. And then another one I had is just the repeated scenes of the nerdy whatever.
Okay, so that was my second one too, was Party Boat.
The party guy with the hot chicks was
that was great.
It was just so stupid. And then my last one that I liked was when he got reprimanded for peeping on the guy's wife.
That is very funny.
And he was talking about, I wasn't trying to look at your wife, I was trying to look at Colonel blah blah blah. And oh, you're sicker.
In his picnic basket.
You're sicker than I thought. And so
my third one was Stephanie Powers. All of her scenes, Kate, Kate scenes, most of the scenes that she were in were the strongest ones.
I would agree with that, yeah. So there were a number of good scenes in this movie.
Yeah. Songs, there was basically just the Boatniks, which we've already basically said is not really a song.
And that was it.
And there was a decent score to this movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just, it's...
But if you're looking for music, this is not the movie you want to look at.
No, I mean, this is just pure, like...
LOLs.
Slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, our main character, not Ensign.
Well, it is Ensign Garland. I mean, that's his official title.
I thought that was his name.
But, yeah, Tom, I mean, he's just a bumbling dildo trying to live up to his dad.
And I know the guy who played Canoe was in this movie, like I said, but he's basically like if Canoe went into the military and made it.
Yeah, and didn't want to eat so much, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's
just kind of like, okay. And then the villains are really pretty good. The Skrinks Part 2.
I really did enjoy all of the scenes with the three villains were really funny.
Well, especially because Harry and Max are so strong, and we haven't talked really much about Max, about Norman Fell, but he's really strong.
So he was the guy who was constantly driving everything.
Driving and knowing what to do.
Yeah, no,
he had really good, dry, funny lines all the way through the movie. He kind
of looked like Rodney Dangerfield.
A little bit. But he spent his life as a well-known comedic actor. He's very funny, and he had great lines throughout this movie.
Yeah, no,
Charlie I found really annoying, really.
He was just stupid.
Yeah, he was stupid and loud.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to go underwater!
And every time the periscope would go up and down the submarine, it would always hit him in the balls when it went down. It was stupid.
Yep.
Yeah. It was just dumb. And then Kate, as a side character, the hot girl in the next slip over instead of the girl next door, the next slip.
What's a slip?
That's what every place where a boat parks.
Oh.
Damn it. Okay.
Next slip.
So, and really, she was almost the main character of this movie.
No, she was great, and I enjoyed her character, although do you think she was wearing a wig?
I don't.
No.
But she obviously has a hell of a head of hair.
That's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
But no,
it's like a Kelly amount of hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seriously. And then other than Commander Taylor, there's not a lot of other characters in this movie.
This movie definitely had a very small cast.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie felt, honestly, as if it was a TV show that was stretched out for a very, 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 very long time.
It was like a TV show where we were supposed to have a history with all these people, and we didn't.
And you're like, oh, there's the wacky old people. Oh, there's the around the world guy. Like, this could have been a TV show, to be honest.
Which, honestly, it would have been an excellent TV show.
Yeah, imagine how many crazy adventures you could have gotten into.
Exactly. It could have been really good as a TV show.
So many boat parties. So many dude, and the guy talking about, oh, we sent a message in a bottle for more food. Please deliver it. What?
That's hilarious. And then the cinematography, it was nice ocean views. It was fairly well shot. I can't really say anything about it. If it ever came out in HD, I'm sure it would look amazing.
I mean, it was just very 60s, very 70s. Like, it still has the feel of the 60s movies, but going into the set. It's basically, honestly, the cinematography is not the main focal point of this movie.
You know what the funny thing about it is, though, is that Herbie Goes Bananas was made 10 years after this, and it looks exactly the
But that's
same.
what I'm saying. I don't think they had a lot of advancements between that time.
I think they did. I just don't think they spent very much money on Herbie Goes Bananas.
God, it's so amazing.
Yeah. So what was your biggest surprise?
That this was in California and not on the East Coast.
Oh my god.
Because going into this movie,
Oh my God.
I was so convinced
Kelly was sure.
that this was like Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod, preppy people like on a pirate hunt, and this was Coast Guard California. And that was honestly my biggest surprise, was that it was West Coast versus East Coast.
So for me, it was them taking their foot off the gas pedal for the last quarter of the movie, going from 500 miles an hour to 2 miles an hour was really disappointing. It was a bummer.
Yeah.
Because it being a joke a minute, haha, lighthearted, funny kind of comedy was really cool. And then they killed my buzz.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The end chase scene was so long.
It wasn't even just, it was just the whole ending was kind of like, it just didn't fit the rest of the movie.
Yeah, no, it seemed almost a little too serious for the rest of the movie.
That's what I mean, yeah. Because the whole rest of the movie was a joke a minute, everything was moving really fast, and...
So, if you remade this movie, what would you change about it?
It's not realistic to remake this movie.
So, I get that. I was going to say a similar sentiment, but I think if I remade this movie, instead of having the pelican, I would have somebody, like, take a bite of a sandwich that had pieces of it, and maybe...
Like the captain take a bite of the sandwich, like, oh, this is...
Yes! The commander could take a bite of this. Oh, what is this pickle? Oh, it's not a pickle, it's a ruby. And...
That's not a bad place to start, and then whack it, and they, like, all jump on the boat, run away, and then they all have to catch him. That's actually a much better ending.
And then maybe at the end, he's like, oh, I got you a salami. By salami, I don't mean my dick, I mean a real salami. And she's like, oh, an engagement ring. And he's like, I didn't mean engagement ring. And then it just zooms in on his face while hugging her. And he's like,
You feeling better, Ocho?
You know what's funny about that is that the other thing this movie could have used is 10 minutes lopped off of it.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying would have lopped that time off, and this movie would have worked. So, good on you.
That's what I would have changed.
Good on you.
I just needed someone to bite into a sandwich made of all the pieces of things.
You did better than I did. Better than the pelican.
The pelican was fine, but it was just... I just wanted to see somebody bite into a diamond.
So, final thoughts?
It's a silly movie. It's very silly.
Yeah, so I would say it's a great cold day movie to watch. If it's like cold and dreary and you want to kind of brighten your spirits, watch this stupid movie and you'll be like, LOL.
Sure.
So, budget-wise, did you find a budget for this movie?
Yeah, it was $2.5 million.
Whoa! In 1970, that's a lot of money.
But it made 18.6.
With a re-release from the song. So.
Yeah, so...
So they made plenty of money.
Yeah.
If they put on Disney Plus, maybe we'd make some more. Who knows?
I doubt it. Who's gonna find this on Disney Plus?
So what's your rating, Kelly? Well, you know what? Who would find this movie? Is like who watched Candle Shoe, who watched Bullwhip Griffin.
Who are these heart people and they keep watching these movies? My rating?
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as this was a very enjoyable movie watching experience. I'm not gonna lie, like, I didn't hate it.
I agree with that.
But it's not a good movie.
Not even remotely.
It's really not. It's not even Candle Shoe level good.
Oh, not even close. Candle Shoe's great.
I gave this movie a 50%.
Oh, so we're very close. We're like almost in lockstep. I guess maybe 55.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, this is about as good as a bad movie can get.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't hate it, but it's also like, I can't give this any higher than a 50 because, like, really, is it any better? No, it's not.
No.
It's not a good movie.
It's not even an okay movie.
Yeah, but I still enjoyed it.
So what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is?
I feel like this probably didn't get very good reviews. It doesn't have a super amount of famous people. Like, I mean, I guess they were famous for the time. I'm gonna say maybe like a 64%.
So there's no critic score, but with the people it's 49. So we're right in lockstep with everybody.
Wow.
We all agree.
Okay.
Kind of iffy.
Yeah. Okay.
And so now it's time for Kelly's favorite part of the podcast.
Wait. Let me get settled. Okay, I gotta prepare. Normally I would take another sip, but I don't have any more alcohol because I spilled my drink.
So we have number 271, which is Write It Out, America's Heart and Soul.
Wait. Let me take a sip of your drink to get ready. I'm scared, though. Ugh, I don't even... Ugh. Oh, God. David made a face that matched my...
Yeah, I made a face that matched Kelly's sound. It's number 285.
Oh, 285. Okay, so that's older.
No.
No.
Well, what do you consider older?
Like, older than the 90s?
Not even... No.
Is this in the 2000s?
Yeah, Kelly. I think I've explained this on at least 5 episodes.
I don't know anything.
That up until the first 200, the first 200 something are up to the year 2000. The next 200 are from 2000 till now.
Okay, so 285?
No, yeah, 285.
So this is going to be...
2005.
What, like 2012?
2005.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
The Chronicles of Narnia. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, I've seen this.
I have not seen this. I've read the book when I was in, like, the 2nd grade.
You read the book?
In the 2nd grade.
Oh, okay. So, actually, if I remember correctly, the movie's not that bad.
Really?
Well, but here's the thing, though, is that the book...
I thought that they kind of made it about Jesus.
Well, the books are kind of about Jesus.
Yeah, but I thought that the books, it's not obvious, but I think that they hit it super hard in the movie.
I don't really remember, but I know that I watched the movie, and then I wanted to go read the books, and then I didn't. So when I was little...
Did they make all 5 of the books into movies?
No, they only did, I think, the first 2, because...
Which means that they sucked.
But no. I think the first movie was actually good.
Maybe it was just okay.
And the second one was really bad. I haven't seen the second one, but I know that the books, I only read, like, the first 5 books, and then I was over it.
That's it, isn't it?
No, I think there's, like, 10 books or something.
I think there's 5 main books. That's why I said the first 5.
I don't know. But, no, this movie, do you remember anything about the story?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a fantasy thing.
I remember that the kids go into the back of a cabinet. That's about it.
Yeah, and it's live action and...
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I don't know anything about live action. I couldn't have told you that, but...
Oh, sorry.
I just saying the story that's all I know is that, yeah, that's all I can really remember.
So what do you think it's about, David?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Them going into the wardrobe.
Yeah, but where do they go?
To Narnia.
They do go into Narnia! No.
So we know what it's about. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. If you want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram at The Disney Movies, if you'd like to send us an email about any old thing at thedisneymovies@gmail.com.
Please like, subscribe, share, leave us a review. That would be really groovy.
Most excellent. Most of all, just listen. That's what we like the most.
Yes.
Yes. In the meantime, this has been At the Disney Movies with the Hearts.
I'm Kelly.
I'm David. Bye!
Look at these dogs. They just know when it's over. They're like, I know it's...
Kelly's trying to break the laptop today. Look at that handsome dog.
Okay.
He's so handsome. Luke is
Let's
so
get
handsome.
everybody-
So handsome.
Okay. That was actually pretty good. That sounded really a lot like the thing. Does that look better? Because you can see it better than I can.
The Kelly boat. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You should talk a little bit more because I sang.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to sing just because I don't really want to
Well,
do
no,
that.
but see, now it looks equal with when I was talking.
When I was talking.
The Boatniks. Did you spill?
Yes.
On our couch? On our old couch?
Oh my god. Well, at least it wasn't near the laptop.
Or on the new couch? Kelly spilled on my nap couch that I still haven't even used to take a nap yet.
I got a little bit on the charger, but it was just on the block part. Ugh! I'm more upset because I lost like 25% of my drink. Ugh!
You can have some whiskey.
No. No. I'd rather be sober than have whiskey. Are you kidding me? No.